welcome back to another episode of our live seasons. Oh my god, it feels like so long since I've actually recorded this podcast. Right now, it's 10:57 p.m. I just got off work and I think this week has just been kind of like a little hectic because there's a lot of events going on and yeah, I'm just really busy with work. But at the same time, like I mentioned in my previous few episodes, I do actually made a pact with the universe where I'm gonna be posting every single week no matter what happens. So here we are at 11 p.m. recording this podcast. Honestly speaking, my brain is a little bit fried and so I hope that I'm actually providing value. I'm actually, sane enough to be talking about this today's topic, which is what I want to talk about. I think in this topic is more about finding the balance between living a fulfilled life and also like hunger for more. Like I feel like there's always this balance that I'm trying to find because I've always been someone that is really super ambitious. Like I mentioned, I think with one of the episodes with my friend, whereby I'm very, very, very ambitious. Like the things that I desire, the goals that I want to achieve is out of this world. When people hear my goals and dreams and the per se like the open inverted timeline that I give myself, like people will be wondering if I'm insane. I might be insane to a certain extent, but I feel like it's something that pushes me forward even more. Like I take pride in being ambitious and I just feel like I came to a point where I start realizing whether or not it's actually okay to slow down a little bit sometimes because being ambitious, right, means for me at least, it means that I'm constantly chasing after the next thing. Like I feel like I don't have time or I don't give myself enough time to sit down and actually savor all my accomplishments and all my success because I think a lot of ambitious people out there or people with desires and people with the timeline that they want to complete within a certain period of time to be successful or what however success looks like to you, right, by a certain age or by a certain timeline. I feel like when you have that, you will actually realize that you don't really have much time, or rather you don't allow yourself to sit back, look at what you have accomplished before moving on to the next, because that's like the I would say like the problem that I had with myself, where I was constantly finding myself like I was constantly burnt out because yeah, I just didn't give myself enough time to rest before moving on to the next thing. It's always like it's a never ending cycle of chasing after the next big thing, right? I would say that when I hit my biggest burnout, I think it was last year with my business and with life in general. I think I started to kind of think about what like I had this question of what am I doing in life? Because I can't seem to find the balance between being too ambitious and also like just savoring little moments and just being in the moment, right? And I feel like there might be a lot of people out there who are also struggling with this, like because we are even though we are called human beings, but I feel like we are more of a human doing, where we are constantly doing things, we're constantly finding things to chase after. It's like yeah, we're just busy occupying ourselves with our desires, occupying ourselves with like our work and stuff like that. It's very hard for us to just sit there and look at our accomplishments and look at the things that we have done in life and be like, oh my god, like many years back or even few years back, this was the dream that I wanted to achieve. This was just a dream to me, and now that I'm able to achieve it, like I should be proud of myself, right? But I didn't have that mentality just because I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't nothing was good enough. And I always thought that like my end goal would be, having a certain financial stability or having a certain status or having like a certain amount of money in my bank account. That's when I'll be truly happy. And I know that this might be a very common concept of, a lot of things that people will be talking about, which is more of like you will never find an end goal. There will never be an end goal because life is just a whole entire journey of you figuring things out, like you learning different lessons. I would say that right now, I feel like there's no end goal to it. My end goal every single day is just to feel fulfilled and to be happy. That is, at least for me now. I think there was a very, very, very big change from who I was to where I am now. Because, like I mentioned, who I was just someone that was constantly stressed because of this mentality that I had, right? Like I was constantly stressed about not being able to achieve what I want to achieve by a certain age, by a certain timeline. And then because of that, I hold on to a lot of things. Like I think the theme of my life right now, and for the previous few episodes, if you hear it, you will realize that I keep talking about letting go of control, letting go of control, because I feel like that's one of the biggest thing that I really, really hope that everyone can grasp is to know that once you allow yourself to let go of control, a lot of things will actually happen for you. You would feel that things are happening for you in divine timing as compared to happening to you. Because I used to be in this victim mindset of like negativity, of how things are just happening to me. Like, why is it me? Why am I not able to accomplish certain things when it looks so easy for someone else? I find myself constantly comparing myself to others, to other success. Like, oh, she or she is at the age of like 22 and they are like millionaires and they are, making big bucks for their through their business and stuff like that. And I will always sit and wonder like, why can't I? And then I think as time passes, as I grow, I tend to realize that, everyone is just on their own journey. Like it doesn't really matter. They might be at the age of 22 and they might be a millionaire. I might be at the age of 22 and I still don't know what I want to do, and that's fine. Right now I'm 24. I would say that I'm so much happier with life, and I'm so much more, I would say, abundant in terms of like my mindset and financial wise. And it shows when you're abundant in your mind, like when you are so appreciative of things in life, and you really take the time to slow down and look at your life and appreciate little things like just being able to wake up every single day. Like right now, it's so funny, it may sound so silly, but trust me, it really helps. When I wake up every single day, I thank the universe, the higher power, whoever that you believe in, that I'm able to just wake up and just enjoy the day. I'm able to wake up at early hours in the morning, just being able to enjoy this peace and quiet, this silence, knowing that I'm starting the day ahead of everyone else, and to know that I'll be accomplishing different things today, that I'm ready to conquer the day. So I feel like this moments like that, I am so grateful for, because I feel like one of the mindset that I had that really changed my whole, like how I view life in general, is that when I wake up that morning, or when I wake up, every morning, knowing that at the other side of the world, or at any part of the world, there might be people who are not able to wake up anymore, because they are at their end of their journey of life. And that is really sad, that is really dark, if you think of it that way. But I think I use that to kind of encourage me and to push me further to be more grateful than ever, that I'm able to wake up every day to chase after my dreams. Being able to chase after my dreams is a privilege. And I feel like not a lot of people understand this, because know that not a lot of people are able to chase after their dreams. Everyone has dreams, everyone have their own desires, but I would say that I'm very, very privileged to be able to wake up and be able to just be like, you know what? I feel like, recording a podcast, or I feel like starting this new journey, and I'm able to just do that just like that. But there are a lot of people, or not majority, but there are a lot of people out there who are not able to do that. And that, when I think about it that way, I'm able to express so much more gratitude, because I'm so privileged to be able to be born in this family, to be able to be born in this country. And yeah, so I think that was when I started to think about, why is it that, is there even a possibility to be able to balance, like being too ambitious, wanting for more, hunger for more, desiring for more, and living in the moment? Because I feel like these two kind of clashes if you think about it. Like I always used to think that, how can you actually live in the moment if you want more? Like, will you ever be able to just sit there and, because living in the moment to me is more of like this relaxed lifestyle, like this really slow, soft living lifestyle kind of vibe. And then hunger for more is this go, 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 go energy of like this, I would say, really masculine energy. So masculine energy, what I mean, right, for those people who don't know, it's not, I'm not talking about this female and male energy. It's masculine, and everybody has feminine and masculine energy. So to put it simply, right, feminine energy is the being able to be in the moment and being able to just really feel your emotions. And then masculine energy is more of the doing, right? So you need both masculine and feminine energy in your life to be able to balance things out. So now that we talk about balance, I would say that because I'm a Libra, if you don't know, Libra, like we are very good at balancing, or rather we seek balance in our life. And I think that was the reason why I was so fed up with myself, and I just felt like my whole entire life was like crumbling because I couldn't find balance in my life. There wasn't balance in my life. I was constantly leaning towards the masculine side because that is just how we were taught. That is just how, the society deemed as you being um like hardworking enough to work towards your dreams. Right? So I think for longest period of time I was in this masculine energy because not a lot of people embrace and talk about feminine energy enough for people to be like, actually being in your feminine energy is actually not so bad after all. Because like I mentioned, like the duality of life, we need both good and bad, positive and negative, to know that, to know what's positive. Like you have to go through negative stuff to know what is positive, right? So that there's this comparison in a sense. So I would say that, yeah, like that is just what I was going through. And as time passed, I kind of realized that, honestly speaking, when I'm in balance, that is when I live my best life. Like when I find the joy in chasing after my dreams and looking at my dreams and be like, you know what, this is a very fun thing to do. I'm very privileged. I'm very, very, very happy that I'm able to just be able to chase after my dreams. And it's a bonus. I look at it as a bonus. And at the same time, I'm able to live my life moment by moment while chasing after my dreams. It may sound a little bit confusing still, even for me, because I'm still experimenting this out, but I feel like I'm able to grasp it like better now, whereby, let me give you a scenario, right? So let's just say for like this podcast is a very good example, because with this podcast, like I mentioned in my first episode, I have no idea how it's gonna go. I'm not gonna make money out of it as of now. Like I don't do, or I don't record this podcast because I feel like this topic is it will be a trending topic, or rather it will go viral. Right? I record these podcast episodes because I went through this phase of my life. I went through this season of my life, and I feel like it, people would benefit from hearing it. And I'm just saying things based on like my own experience. Like I mentioned, I don't have a script, so whatever that comes out is literally like off the top of my mind. And it's based on I'm influenced by a lot of the books that I read, like self-help books, development books, business books that I read, and also like podcasts that I listen to every single day. So I would say that that was the one of the biggest thing that has helped me a lot. So like I was mentioning, like this podcast episode is a very good example. I don't know where we're gonna go with this, but every single day, like I am so fulfilled just by, the fact that I'm able to record this podcast episode. Like it gets me so excited that literally right now it's 11:10 p.m. and I'm like still so energized. I was so dead tired prior to recording this podcast. Like no joke, I had to travel like 1 hour 30 minutes back and forth from my workplace to, back home. And I was honestly so drained. Like this, to be really raw with you, like this whole entire week, I didn't know whether or not I was going to record this podcast, but I knew I had to record because, like I mentioned, like I promised to deliver every single week, and I'm going to do that. But I just didn't know which specific date, or whether or not I have that energy to record it, or whether or not I'm even going to be providing value. But at the same time, I trust, this is when the balance comes in. At the same time, I trust to know that I have enough value to share, that I'm blessed enough to just be able to sit here and just talk in front of the camera and just have no script and just be like, yeah, talking. No, I just need a topic title and I'm just ready to go. So that is basically like how I'm like. And then with the topics that I've planned out, like I think because of, that my day to day, like I mentioned in my previous few episodes, I've always been someone that, when I commute, I might have like ideas come out of nowhere, and I might just put it down in my notes, and I have like a whole entire list of episode podcasts ready to go, like those topic ideas. And I always just pick one or two that I feel like talking about that week, and then I'll just, look at the title, and I would, off the top of my head, I would know what to say, and I would just let it flow. I don't want to sugarcoat things. I don't really pretty much like edit my stuff. So it's the rawest version. So I would say that this is when balance comes in, right? Like having the desire and the dream of course, if this podcast were to be where it's gonna be, be where it's meant to be in the future, whatever that looks like. And then I'll be very grateful to be even able to call this podcast mine. Right. At the same time, I'm in no rush to for it to blow up, for it to be viral. Because I can tell you, I used to be this person whereby whatever that I do, right? Whether or not it's business related, I would make it business related. Whatever that I have, like the ideas that I have, it becomes so boring and so mundane because I put a value to it. I put a timeline to it, right? Like for example, like the businesses that I used to try out like last time, I would be like, okay, so by this certain month I would need to hit this certain figure, or I would need to have certain amount of followers on my Instagram. And that really took the fun away from that project. So I would burn out so fast and I would be so bored with whatever that I was trying to do or trying to build back then, because it just wasn't fun. Like when you put, for me at least, when I put numbers, because I'm not a numbers person, but when I put numbers or KPIs or whatever that it is that you call to a certain passion or certain desire, that's when like the whole entire fun level just goes down. Like I no longer find myself, really enjoying moments, like little moments of, the process of things, because like I mentioned, I'm constantly always looking at the next thing. So once I reach this amount of followers, what's next? Like when I reach 100 followers, then I want to have like 1,000 followers. So I'm constantly rushed for time, which I don't know why I do that to myself. And it's so funny because you might think that, as a third party perspective, you might be like, oh my God, like just enjoy the process. It's so easy to tell someone to enjoy the process, but when you are like in it, because I feel like I mentioned, we're always rushing for something. I don't know what we're rushing for, but we're always rushing to reach the end goal, to what we think will be the end goal. But you realize that when you reach the end goal, or when you finally reach the desired outcome that you want to have, you would find that it's not enough. You would feel this, at least for me, I felt this emptiness of like, okay, so I've reached this, what's next? Like, I don't think this is it. Because the thing about it is that I don't actually do enjoy the process. I don't actually remember what went down, like little details that went down throughout the process. Right now, my take on life, my take on business in general, or just, just life in general, is that I appreciate every single moment. I cherish every single moment. So I have like this jar. Wait, let me just grab it. Okay, it's right in front of me. Okay. Sorry, you gotta see my forehead. But this jar, oh my god. So this jar right here is the jar that I fill up all my happy moments in it. Okay, so there's a little fun story about this jar. So this jar, I call it my happy jar, is I actually started this. I think I was inspired by one of the TikTok videos that I scrolled through last year. Yeah, last year. And then I decided to start it because I felt like it was so interesting that being able to read, all your happy moments by the end of the year is just, yeah, I am someone that loves memories. Like I love looking back or scrolling through my photo albums and be like, oh my god, on this specific date and day, like I was doing this thing, like this was the moment that I really do cherish, and I love things like that. So I would think that it would be really fun to look back at, at the end of the year, like 31st December, I'll look back at my life for the entire year and know that there are little moments that I'm happy about. So I started this last year, right? This is the whole entire like jar for 2023, and I still have like moments that I want to put in. But the backstory about this was like really hilarious, because this jar has really impacted my life. No joke. Because last year, while the year ended, like I mentioned, last year was like a shit year for me. Like when the year ended, when I took out all of my post-it notes and I read it out, I realized it's so funny because it made me realize that all the happy moments was actually from someone. Like whether it's from my friends or whether it's from my previous partner or like just people around me. I felt that it was never from myself. Like this happiness was never from within. So that was when I ditched and I really trashed out like all of the post-it notes and I started over. So I told myself that 2023, I'm gonna fill this jar with happy moments that I spend with myself from within. Peace from within, happiness from within. It's just gonna become from me. Because I think I rely a lot on like others to provide me happy moments, and I felt like it was so wrong for me. At least it didn't sit right with me to know that I can't I'm not complete on my own, right? That I'm constantly looking for outside of myself to be happy. And that was just so wrong for me. I didn't know that I was doing that, like, unknowingly, I was doing that to myself. And that was when I decided that, you know what, I should just really try. The whole theme of 2022 was 2023, I mean, was to try to have happy moments with myself, whether or not it's I like bring myself out on dates, or just, yeah, just feeling little moments of excitement, and allowing myself to work on my mindset is really important. So this is what I've accomplished, and I can tell you, like, literally 100% of all of this, okay, not 100%, but like 98% of all these post-it notes are like happy moments that was created by myself. Okay, so it I will just take out one just because I already have it with me. But you can see that I actually write it in small post-it notes like this. So this particular one was, I took the courage to choose myself first, to choose my desires first, to choose spending time with my friends over work. So this was on the 1st of August 2023. So you can see, let me just show it to you. So it looks something like that. Okay, my handwriting is horrible, but yeah, I would say that moments like this particular one brings me back to the moment where I was so stressed out over work, that I felt like I had so much to do. And then I think this came perfect. I literally just draw this out of like the entire jar, but this came perfect because we are talking about living in the moment, and also uh like wanting more, hunger for more. I think this particular one was when I decided, that I would put my work aside and to just live within the moment with my family and friends. And that really gave me a lot of fulfillment, because the past me would focus a lot on work, and I would shut myself out from all my friends and family members, and just be like, oh, I need to work on this particular thing, and just don't disturb me and don't interrupt me. And I think I became so unhappy. I was such an unhappy person that no one wants to be around me, because that energy was so negative. Like, people, yeah, let me just keep this away. Okay, anyways, yeah, like, people around me would fit into my energy and be like, she's not really fun to be around with, because I was constantly so stressed out over like my business that I was building back then, and my finances, my life in general, that I think it kind of the affected others in terms of like how they feel around me, right? Like, I think they would feel so stressed as well, even though I don't always like sit there and complain about what was going on in my life. But I think you can still feel the energy and the vibes, when you're hanging around the 2022 me. So right now, I would say that I'm so much more fun to be around with, hopefully. But yeah, I feel so much more lighter. Like, I feel so much happier knowing the fact that I can crave for more, I can be hungry for more, but at the same time to balance out with living in a moment. So that particular one was a really good balance between how I actually balance out my work and also my life. Like, the choices that I make day to day. I can't believe that post-it note just popped up, because it was perfect for this for this episode, like, yeah, topic. So anyways, um yeah, I think one of the things that I want to say is that I start to know myself a lot more. Like, one key thing is to know yourself enough to know how you're like. For me, I know myself so much that I know that I will always be ambitious. Like, being ambitious is literally, it's like my surname. It's like my, personality trait. Like, have I tried not being ambitious? No, because it's not I don't know. It's just not something that I would drop, I guess. Like, it's just not in me to be able to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna be ambitious. I'm just gonna lay there and yeah, just not do anything. I can't. Like, I would constantly have a lot of like ideas coming up. And the funny thing is, the more relaxed I am, the more creative ideas that I have. So I would say that being ambitious and also finding the balance, that that living in the moment, that type of mentality really helps me to be more creative and to be even more ambitious than ever, because there's so much things that I want to accomplish. There's so much things that I want to go after. But right now, the only difference is that I'm going after with such a lighter mode, and with such ease. Like, if it doesn't happen, it's okay, because something better is coming my way. I always believe that if it's not this, it's better. Like, I let go of the control that things have to happen the way I want it to, the outcome really doesn't matter. It's the process. Right now, I know that, we have been told this like a lot of times that, to enjoy the process, to enjoy the process. But I just can't stress this enough. And I just want to be basic to tell you that really do enjoy the process. Because when you enjoy the process, when you reach your end point or whatever you deem as your end point, you will realize that it's so, so, so much more sweeter. Like that success tastes so freaking delicious that you just want to jump up and down and be like, oh my god, I can't believe I did it. Like it's so much more satisfying and it's so much more fulfilling to know that you have actually enjoyed the process while you're getting there. And if you don't get there, it's actually okay. It's actually fine because you have actually gained something, which is the fulfillment and the enjoyment of really just living the life that you want to live, because it takes a lot of courage to chase after your desires. It takes a lot of courage to just allow yourself to sit there and live in the moment. Okay, so I would say that, like being ambitious is something that I've always been. And I would not say that it's like a good or bad thing. If you're not ambitious, it's totally fine. Okay, because everyone is different. Like I mentioned, everyone is different. So for me, when I know that I'm ambitious, right, and I start to have this like perfectionism trait whereby everything has to be perfect. I tell myself that what I think is my 90%, when I put it out there, it's always someone else's like 100%. What I think is 20%, when I put it out there, it's always someone else's 100% or even more than what I think it is. It's always like that. For perfectionists, you will know that whatever effort that you put out there, you will always deem it lower than what other people would always perceive. So you would constantly, hear people telling you that, oh my god, that's actually really good. Like, I can't believe you know how to do that. And then you're like, what? I don't think it's good enough. Right? So right now, I used to only post things when I think that it's good enough. But right now, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna post it because I know and I have the full faith in myself and my ability and capabilities to know that whatever I put out there is of value to someone. It may not be of value to you, but I would know that out of this whole entire world, my content would definitely be able to help just this one person, and this one person is enough. I don't expect for much, but just this one person is enough. And that one person can be myself. Like when I look back at this video and be like, oh my god, like I'm able to learn so much more and I'm able to, see where I am right now as compared to where I will be in the future. I can guarantee you that I have grown. Like I think one of my life mission is to be able to grow every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. Like I know looking back at my previous few years, I've grown so much, especially the transition from 2022 to 2023 and 2023 to 2024. Like there will be so much growth because I can already feel it. Like literally at the start of 2023, I felt like, oh my god, like who am I? Like who have I become? Because I think even for like the people around me, my friends, my mentor, and my family members, they would tell me that you look so different, like you feel so different. And I think my energy impacted a lot of people around me. Like I am so much more, like I can be with myself now, and because of that, people find it easier to be around me, because even though I still have this RBF, like this resting bitch face, but I would say that like deep down within me, I'm still this really bubbly person, and I'm more bubbly than ever because I've not been like that. Like last time, my face was exactly how I'm like deep down. I was this really unapproachable girl. I was just really like everything was just so tough. I make life tougher for myself because of the mindset that I have. So when I literally decide to choose to let go and be like, you know what? Let me just try living in a moment and appreciating the things that is happening in my life and see how it goes. Like it doesn't really matter what the outcome is. I'm just gonna let it be and experiment it, because what's the worst that can happen? Honestly, the worst that can happen is I go back to square one. That's it. But I would say that, I know for sure that I will definitely be able to be more appreciative of life and to really enjoy life, because I now am able to sit down and start to see how life is playing out for me, for my benefit. And I always believe that things happen in divine timing for you. Things happen for a reason. The situations or the things that you face, you have the capability to go through it, because if you don't, the universe is not gonna give you what you can't handle. Okay, so that's something that I honestly truly believe. So I would say that, like, one thing that I found really helpful for me, to find this balance between wanting more and also living in a moment, is that I wake up every single day, like I mentioned, with gratitude, with so much more gratitude. And I also start to like journal a little bit more, to kind of sit with myself and know that, it's okay to have this flow. And when I think a lot of times I feel into my intuition a lot, of whether a decision feels good to me. Because if I know, for me, if I start to be like, then I know it's a no for me. Whatever that I'm trying to do, no, don't do it if I have hesitations. But when something feels so good to my body, like, it's a non-negotiable that I have to do it. So I think this is how, like, I kind of play with life, and I never take life seriously anymore. It's always, if I fall, I get back up and laugh about it. I learn the lessons from it, I move forward. Because I have so much faith in the universe, that I feel like I'm the universe's favorite child, that no matter what happens, it's happening for me. Okay, I can't stress this enough, but I feel like when I see things that way, when I know that everything is panning out and playing out for me, I would say that, you really live life more peacefully. You live life in such a light-hearted manner, because you have trust, you have faith, you have love, and you have gratitude. I feel like this few are like the really, really most important traits that anyone should have. Because if you have not tried, like, waking up and telling yourself that you're grateful for at least 5 things a day, try it out. You realize that you live a happier day. And day to day, even though it may seem really, really small, but trust me that all this builds up. Like, little things builds up. And by the time you reach the end of the year, or even the end of the month, you'll be like, oh my god, like, I don't even know, like, that I can be grateful for so many things. Because when I start to open my heart up to see, like, what I'm grateful for, and to see what I already have, instead of trying to chase after what I don't have, and to focus on what I want to have, or what I don't have, of the lack, right? When I focus on the lack, I think that's when it's really hard for you to appreciate what you have. So yeah, gratitude is really something that I learned, that is really, really beneficial for me, for my life in general. So I would say that, I also have affirmations that feel good to my body, to know that, I'm safe to make certain decisions, to know that if I'm ever lost, I will always be guided back to my life purpose. Whether or not it's asking for a sign, or whether or not it's seeing like angel numbers, I think for me, that is where I seek comfort from, and that is where, I affirm myself that I'm on the right track. Okay, so I hope that, whoever that's listening to this, that you are able to find this balance, to know that it's okay to ask for more, it's okay to desire for more, it's okay to be ambitious. Okay, that, I'm on your team, I'm on your side, but at the same time, to know that because you're so ambitious, you need to be able to allow yourself to live in the moment, to enjoy the process, to be more creative than ever, to be able to allow all this playful energy to come in your life, so that you can really start, you know, living a life that is so much more fulfilled. Whether or not you reach your end goal, you know that at least you enjoyed this life. At least you enjoyed the process. Okay, I know it's very cliche, but it's the truth. And I really hope that, this episode actually helps you to gain a new insight as to, how you can actually balance out life. Because whether or not you're a Libra, I would say that balance is really important, especially right now when, people are seeking balance, and people are like, you know lopsided, in a sense whereby they are more masculine. They allow their masculine energy to play a part, and then their feminine energy is just, yeah, at the side. So I would say that, encourage your feminine energy to come up more, like this energy of being just really relaxing and enjoying life. Even though I know that, especially in Singapore, it's so like rush, like everything is so fast paced, and we live in a fast paced world where everything needs to be done fast. I understand that, but trust me, take some time to really just sit down and just breathe. Start by breathing, because I feel like we don't breathe enough. Like, just breathe and sit down with yourself, and start to, list out the things that you are so grateful for, the things that you already have in your life. And don't think about, you know, what you do not have, because what you do not have will eventually come when you start to appreciate what you have. Okay? Mic drop. That's that right there. So I would say that, yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. And as per usual, I'll see you in the next one next Friday. So I hope you have a good one. Bye.